Hey, so I'm going to be taking you along with me for my fit test today, showing you every category and how to do it if you have absolutely no equipment. If you're out in the middle of nowhere, I came to the track open field to do this, so no pull-up bar, no box to jump on. I'm going to show you how you can do everything really body weight only with no equipment. Let's go.
Mommy. Hi.
The first thing you're going to do is the warm-up. So begin with 10 reps of prisoner squats, really focusing on good form and muscle contractions and your breathing, and then move right into jumping jacks, 15 reps of those, and then do 10 good reps of push-ups. You can modify these if needed. Once your warm-up's complete, you can take about 2 minutes of rest time before you begin your first strength test, which for the bodyweight edition of this test is push-ups. So you're going to get down and do push-ups again. This time you're just doing one set of as many reps as possible. Don't modify the push-up form for the test. If you can only get 1 rep, then give yourself a score of 1 and look forward to getting stronger in the future. But remember, this is a test, not a workout. So just do as many as you can honestly do and then move on to the next test. Next up, you'll do the air squat test. So this one is for reps as well. So count your reps as you're going and see how many you can get before your legs are just too burnt out. If you can do more than 75 of these, you're considered a pro. Now the third one is a feet elevated hip thrust, but let's say you don't have a bench around or anything to elevate your feet on. You can do it like this, like I did on the ground, just doing a glute bridge as an alternative. Again, count your reps and see how many you can get in one set. The fourth test is the pull-up test. So it's really vital to have a pull-up bar, or at least have access to one, to test yourself and see if you can do pull-ups. But if you're doing this test in a location like this where there's no pull-up bar around, then you can do this as an alternative, the Superman W pull. And again, you would do this for reps and score yourself based on number of reps you can get in one set. We strongly encourage you though to test yourself and build that pull-up strength, because pull-ups are an essential part of your fitness. The ability to pull your body up from a hanging position is so empowering and so important. So you can also complete the pull-up test at a later time once you do have access to a bar. I know that most gyms are closed right now, but don't let that stop you. You can always use a pull-up bar at a local park, or you can order one with the link in the description box below. They are very affordable. You can pick one up for 20 bucks. And then the final strength test you'll do is the forearm plank test, and this is for time as well. So get into your forearm plank, hold your core tight, and let the clock go and see how long you can make it. Now that completes the strength portion of the test, so we'll move on to category 2, which is athleticism. First up would be the box jump, and you'd be measuring how high of a box you can jump onto. But if you don't have different heights of boxes to work with, you can do this alternative, the tuck jumps, and do that for reps and see how many reps you can get in one set. Next up would be step toe taps, but if you don't have a step around, you can just do fast feet in place and count how many steps you can get within that 30 seconds. Next up is speed jump rope, but again, if you don't have a jump rope, we have an alternative which is called faux jump rope, where you just simply pretend to jump rope, and again, just count the jumps that you're able to take within that given time. Next up is suicide drills. This is a fun one, and you absolutely don't need any cones for this. Cones are recommended, but you can just use pieces of tape on the ground or chalk lines on the ground, or even just imaginary markers. You're going to be sprinting 15 yards out and back, then immediately 10 yards out, and then 5 yards out, and then finish. Time yourself for the entire thing, so 15, 10, and 5, and you score yourself based on how quickly you were able to complete that whole drill. Third category is your endurance. So we're challenging you with a 1-mile run. If you're at a track like this, simply just complete 4 laps around the track, and that equals 1 mile. You could also do this on a treadmill to help measure your distance, or if you're doing this outdoor just on a street, there are measuring tools and apps you can use on your phone to help measure when you've reached a mile, but the easiest way really is on a treadmill or on a track. If you're not able to complete the full mile without resting, then just make note of that. Make note of how far you did get, and then write it down and compare it to your performance next time. Not being able to complete it is not a fail score, it's just a note for the future. If a mile feels overwhelming and you don't even want to try, then maybe just challenge yourself to try and do a quarter of a mile or a half a mile and see how far you can get. You might surprise yourself. Fourth category is your mobility. So we're going to challenge your shoulder mobility with the shoulder mobility test. We'll challenge your hip mobility with the couch stretch, and your ankle mobility with this quick dorsiflexion mobility test. These 3 are all really fast and easy to do, and they kind of act as your cool down at the end of this fit test. There is still one more category to get to though, and that is your body composition measurements. So we're gonna start by taking your scale weight. I like to take my shoes off, take any heavier bulky clothing off, and then step on the scale. Just relax and stand up tall and let the scale measure how much you weigh right now. Now you can either write this down in a journal, or what I like to do is just take a snapshot on my phone like this. So it's already timestamp dated and I know exactly when it's from, and when I'm looking back for it, I can easily search by date. And now that you have your current and up-to-date scale weight, you're actually going to use that to measure your body fat percentage. I use this handheld body fat analyzer. I linked it down below. You can pick up one of these on Amazon and you can enter your height, your age, your gender, and all of that important information. And then you hold on to the handlebars and in just a few seconds, it reads your body fat percentage and your BMI. So again, to record this, I'll just take a picture on my phone and then it already has a time and date stamp on it. Next up is the circumference to height ratio. So what you need to do for this is 1, know your height. If you don't know what your height is, then you can measure it. But most people already know how tall they are, so just use that number and then measure the current circumference of your waist. Make sure to lift any clothing out of the way, and then you want to line it up right with your belly button and make sure that it's not twisted, and then record that measurement. So I'll just take a quick selfie with my phone again to record where that landed. And then I'll use my calculator, divide that circumference number that I just measured by my height in inches, and that gives me my height to circumference ratio. Okay, so that's it. You're done for today. And just remember to record everything and make notes on it so that you can re-access it in the future and compare today's self to your future self, because that's what this is all about. Don't compare your numbers to anyone else, but use our benchmark numbers as a gauge to see where you're at on your fitness journey and how much further you can go. So don't get too caught up in numbers. Use these benchmark numbers to give yourself mini goals that add up to bigger goals. Doesn't matter how good your performance is or isn't on this fit test. It's really about just giving you benchmarks and giving you goals and trackable, measurable markers of your progress so that you can see those improvements and know that every workout that you're doing is actually getting you in better shape. It's not all for nothing, it's all for something. It's all meaningful. Every step that you take, every workout that you do, it all adds up to being an important piece of your fit life. So enjoy this fit test. You don't have to take it every single month, but we do offer it to you on the first of every month in our Team Live Lean programs, but you can take it as often as you want, quarterly, maybe just twice a year. It's really up to you. This is a tool in your toolbox for living lean. So hope you enjoyed this. And if you have any questions about it, drop them in the comment section below. If you enjoyed seeing this video, slap that like on it. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel, and I will be seeing you at the next one. In the meantime, keep living lean.